Hello guys, back again. What we're going to talk about tonight is what do you do when your hands are already down or you're just casually standing and a strike's coming your way or a knife coming your way and you're not in the ready, set, go stance, you're not in the fighting stance. Well, first things you want to practice is understanding where your center line is, understanding where your opponent's center line is, and you want to use a pendulum, something just for practice to moving offline, or strictly for a reference point. Okay, so obviously when you swing it away, if I don't move, it's going to hit me, right? So with that said, when you step offline, don't just shift and leave your center line. It's still here. Your leg can be kicked out from under you. You step this way, your leg can be kicked out from under you. What you want to do is clear the center line, okay, on either side. Clear the center line. What this does is helps you angle off. And angling is something that is really, really important. It was taught to me very early on. And it makes a big difference in how you get in position to go further. And a pendulum is a really cool tool to understand how. Now, you can move in a V forward. You can move in a V backwards. Okay. You can move straight back, which is never really a good idea any more than one or two steps. Or you can move directly to the side. A lot of that is going to depend on your surroundings and what you need to do. So, if my objective is, if the person is punching with his right hand, which would be on my left side, and I can shift completely out, and while his hand's extended, I can hit him in the chin, then this is a good angle. I'll step forward at 45-degree angle with my left foot. If I just step off to the side, I'm not in a position to punch, okay? But I am in a position to kick his leg. That works okay too. So what the point I'm getting at is, what are you going to do? Because a lot of times, no, we can't really think about what we're going to do. We're going to respond to what's coming at us. And you want it to have reactionary quickness, but you want to be thinking about what you're doing, obviously. And that's going to take practice and training, as we all know. So, again, so when you practice this kind of thing, when you step off, you clear, right? You can uppercut, you can hook, you can kick, you can kick. Now, you want to swing it. So when you swing it, you're getting a feed, okay? So you get a stepping offline. So you get something to time. You stand this way. Remember, your hands are down. You're not up, but you're going to bring them up as you start to do it. Now, if you want to add the punch, you come here, bang, right? The arm is passed, and what it is, it's coming right past your head. This hand can monitor the elbow. This hand is hitting under the chin, because you're trying to time it. As the punch is coming forward, you're going to be over here, and your hand's going to be coming under. Okay, it's going to come up from this side. It's going to come under. That's what you're trying to time. So when you work with the pendulum, when you step, bang, okay, and then you step back, 1, 2, punch. So basic boxing one-on-one. Right? Same thing this side. Now, you want to practice this stuff, not as a righty, not as a lefty. This is where you start to explore righty and lefty and switching stances. So if you're standing, most people stand with their dominant foot in the back, so they can sprint. So if you're right-handed, you're usually right-footed, you'll have your left foot forward. Okay? But what if you're standing just square? This is part of the practice. Right? You start out by just stepping off to the side. Come back, step off to the side. Get used to it. Use your peripheral vision to time the pendulum. Okay, it's just a sensitivity exercise. Now, what you do, you step off and clear. Step back, step off and clear. Step back, step off and clear. Notice now I'm stepping at a 45-degree. Okay? Yes, it could also be done backwards. Step out this way, come back to the center, step out this way. But what you want to do is make sure you're clearing the line the pendulum is on. All right? If that's a stick, a sword, a blade, you don't want to cut your leg off. You also don't want to have the person kick your leg out from under you with their leg. So that's why it's really important when you're working the pendulum. Remember, it's just a point of reference of where center lines are. Namely, your arm. Okay? Because when somebody throws a punch, it's coming off a shoulder's off right or left side. It's not coming right down the middle. But their target acquisition a lot of times is going to come at you at sort of an angle. Okay? Unless they really know how to punch straight for your center line. In which case they're going to punch for your center line, so you go right or left, and they'll try to cut you off. But that's getting more technical than we need to be. Again, swing, step off line. See how I clear? That's what you want to do. So we can actually step off line. Make sure you clear. Get used to this part. Because if you don't do that, like I said, a guy follows up with his leg, he's going to kick this leg out from under you. So in other words, if I just step like this, see how this, I'm not clear now? So that's the whole purpose of using a pendulum, understanding the center line, and then when you're adding with your hands are down, you just add the punch. The simplest thing to start with is just raising your hand. Don't worry about it being an actual punch at the moment. See? Step here, raise your hand. This side, step here, raise your hand. Yes, it's an uppercut. But the reason I use this because normally our hands are down, we're not looking for trouble, we're not aware of trouble, but all of a sudden trouble's there. The same thing if somebody goes to push you or punch you. And when you're in a crowd, when you're in surroundings, make it a habit to understand distancing. Pay attention. This is a large part of self-defense. And if somebody's already baiting you or setting you up or has their eye on you, they're going to try to get as close to you as they can. Why? Because it's better for them. But in martial arts training or self-defense training, you want to pay attention to your surroundings and your awareness. And now, that's a tough subject because when we're training with our friends and everything, we're in a studio and we're talking and bullshitting and having a good time. We're not practicing that. So it's imperative that you do practice that. Obviously, you don't want to be paranoid about it, but it's just from a technical standpoint, you want to understand range control. A person should have to step to reach you is your best bet. If all they have to do is extend the limb, they're too close if they're the bad guy. And so think about these things when you're training. And with the pendulum, it's the same deal. When it's coming at you, you are forced to move offline. But you time it. Use your peripheral vision. Don't stare at the pendulum. I'm looking at the camera and I'm talking to you. But I'm using my peripheral vision to time the camera or to time the pendulum. Okay? If I stare at the camera, it'll hit me. Now, just have fun with these ideas. And the whole reason I brought this up is because times people that I know have gotten hurt, they weren't ready. Well, that's a loaded question. What's ready? So that's the whole reason I brought this up. A lot of times you'll see people, their hands are in their pockets, then you move out of the line. Okay? Get offline. Practice getting offline. Practice doing it with your hands in your pockets. Practice with your hands behind your back. Practice doing it with your arms folded. Because many times, that's what's going to have to happen. You're going to have to get offline first, or as. Okay? Because remember, there's at the beginning, in the middle, and after the launch of an attack. Those are your three opportunities to do something. And that's what you want to start thinking about. Then with the pendulum, use it more about movement and then getting in position to do whatever it is you need to do. And then from there, you start adding your stuff, whatever it is you do. Kickbox, grapple, knife, stick, whatever. Then you start using your tools that you train to do. But think about getting in position and think about getting offline. Now, you don't want to get offline so far that you can't retaliate if you need to. You don't want to be so overcommitted that you're stuck if you need to get out. So these are the gray areas that you want to think about. Okay, that's what I wanted to share. Everybody enjoy. Happy Easter. Happy Passover. Enjoy your food. Take care. Have a good night.